I know the ending, so I'm not going to say much, but I'm going to read the original story because this one does have an update. None of the other ones have had an update so far. So I'll read the original, get your take, and then read the update. We can talk about it because I feel bad giving too many hot takes because I did read the update on this one.
Okay.
Okay, so last but not least, my 22 female boyfriend, 25 male, is hiding all of my stuff, and I have no idea why. My boyfriend of 5 months just moved in with me 3 weeks ago. He had some problems with his apartment, damp walls, and it has to be renovated. As my roommate is currently spending some time abroad, I told him it would be okay if he stayed at my place for 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be able to move back to his own apartment by that time. So now we've been living together for 3 weeks and things started out great. Jealousy had been a bit of a problem between us because we often go out separately, probably once a week, but coming home to the same apartment helped him get over that.
Interesting.
But there has been one new problem. Now, this may seem petty at first, but I'm really at my wit's end with this one. Ever since he moved in with me, things started disappearing and then reappearing one day later in the same place they were missing from. I'm talking about documents, small household items, and food. And it's not like losing keys and then finding them again somewhere. I specifically look for something in a certain place where it isn't, but it's there the next day. For example, I like to take a chocolate bar with me to work in the morning, and for that, I normally have a pack of chocolate bars at home. Shortly after he moved in with me, I woke up to find all the chocolate was gone. I asked him about it. He said he didn't know anything about it. I came home just to find the chocolate bars are in the cupboard again. I asked him. He says he doesn't know anything about it. Quote, maybe you just didn't see them in the morning. We're talking about a large pack with about 12 chocolate bars. How can I not see that? At first, I thought it was maybe some kind of strange humor, but he seems angry when I bring it up, and it's starting to really piss me off because sometimes it's been items belonging to one of my friends that I wanted to give back to them and then couldn't, or it was certain documents I needed for a certain day. Now I have absolutely no idea what this is about. I am not crazy. I just don't understand at all.
It's a ghost.
He gets really angry when I talk about it, saying I'm making this up just to, quote, cause drama. Why should I? I have no idea what's going on. Any ideas?
That's it?
So there is an update.
Well, it's a ghost. It just seems, at this point, it seems just very strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems a little gaslighty to me just based on this initial post.
Just like fuck with somebody?
I don't know what the motive is. I think it's just like, I think he's pushing limits or like.
This is like the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, but I also wonder if it's a tactic to like, I think when people gaslight you, they kind of start small and then work their way up big. So like it almost makes you feel crazy in every sense. So
How do you plan that out though? Oh, I'm gonna start with this, so I'm gonna hide this like ring, and then the next day it's gonna be there.
people just.
What does that accomplish? That's the dumbest thing
But
in the world.
people that like this man he's got some issues. There's something a little quirky going on here.
All right,
So
let's do it.
there's something. So the post I'm reading off of it's like from a forum like the best of Reddit updates. So it's a compilation of like OP's post and like little comments. So they highlighted 2 specific things
Okay.
based on OP's comments from the original post. And they only met 2 months ago and he quickly showered OP with gifts and gestures. He wanted a relationship very quickly. And then they link OP's comment, which to me, that's love bombing. And love bombing is a big, big red flag.
How do you differentiate between a love bombing and, I mean, I guess for example, like when I met you, you're trying to not only show the best version of yourself, but you're trying to create a kind of cool environments to get to know each other. And for example, 2 months into knowing you, I booked us a trip to New York.
Yeah.
So where do you cross the line? Because I had never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was something special with you, And obviously I wasn't trying to show off and say, hey, look, I'm going to take you all over the world. It was more
Yeah.
like we could have a really special, amazing time together in New York for the holiday season. And I think that's why there was like a time pressure on it, because I so desperately was like, I've always wanted to experience the holiday markets and all of that stuff out there with someone. And that was the perfect way to do it, you
Yeah.
know?
It was like more about the experience of like doing it together.
Right.
So OP's comment that like made people like point out the love bombing was, I've known him for about 2 months when they like started dating.
Yeah.
We met at a mutual friend's party. I was just out of another relationship and wasn't interested in dating, but he showered me with very romantic gifts, gestures, letters. And so we started going on dates about a month after we met. He wanted a relationship very quickly, and at some point I thought, why not? And so I think it's like, I think the difference between like what you did and love bombing, it's like you just did one trip. It wasn't the trip and like letters every day and like, I love you so much. I want to marry you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I see us having kids after like a week of dating.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. So there's another highlight on this.
Yep.
OP is now being educated on gaslighting when other commenters mention that's what her boyfriend is doing. OP comments that her boyfriend doesn't like it when she spends time with her friends.
Classic.
Here's the update. First of all, thank you all very much for your suggestions, advice, support, and concern. I've gotten multiple PMs asking if I was okay, and I really appreciated it. So back to my situation. After I read all your comments and did some reading on gaslighting, I was really freaked out. Plenty of you told me there were other red flags in our relationship. It got me thinking, and more stuff came to my mind that should have worried me a long time ago. Our whole relationship felt pretty rushed from the start. I didn't even want to date, but he showered me with romantic gifts, gestures, texts, and I finally gave in. He was pretty upset. I didn't want to say I love you from the start, when I didn't want him to meet my family right away, when I didn't want to have sex without a condom, quote, you don't trust me, and when I didn't want to book an expensive vacation with him. He was very jealous and didn't want me to go out with him, although he went out with his friends all the time. He made me cancel plans to spend time with him and then stood me up.
Fuck no.
He logged into my Facebook and changed my relationship status one day after we started dating as a surprise. I actually did worry about that, but thought he was just bad at making surprises. And then they give a username, pointed out all the stuff that has gone missing, had something to do with me leaving the house or meeting friends and family, a gift from my friend, the key to my parents' house, a USB stick I borrowed, documents for an application for a semester abroad, which we had a huge fight about because he didn't want me to go. After I read all about gaslighting, I ordered a nanny cam. Unfortunately, delivery took 4 days, and after day 1, I already knew I couldn't be with him any longer. I wanted him out of the apartment ASAP,
Fuck yeah.
and with as little drama as possible. I told him that my roommate had gotten a really interesting job offer and would cut her vacation short and come home in a week. So he had to move out. He was pretty angry, but I told him that there was nothing I could do. I also told him, as some of you suggested, that his landlord had to get him a place to stay and that he should call him. The next day, he told me that he had talked to his landlord and he could move back in to his own flat on the following weekend.
Nice.
The renovations had not taken as long as planned.
Perfect.
At this point, I doubt the apartment ever had damp walls to begin with, but who knows? In the evening, he asked, Yeah. In the evening, he asked me if I wanted to move in with him because, quote, it works so well, and, quote, you don't like your roommate anyways. I never even said that. I told him sure I would move in with him in June. He was pretty excited about it. While I was waiting for the nanny can to arrive, there was one incident when something went missing. A book that I had ordered for my dad over Amazon and wanted to bring him the next day. Or at least that's what I told my boyfriend.
Yes. Okay. This is amazing.
Of course, in the morning, the book was gone. I chose to ignore it, and he reacted quite strange to it. Even asked me on my way out if I had taken that book with me. Why on earth would he ask that if he didn't expect a reaction from me? I just asked, what book? The book you wanted to bring your dad. I don't know what you're talking about. In the evening, the book was back on my desk again, of course.
Right.
And I ignored it again. 2 hours later, he casually walks by my desk and says, "Ah, that's the book I was talking about." I just said, "Oh, that book?" He seemed pretty angry for the rest of the evening. 2 days later, the nanny cam finally arrived. I set it up while he was at the gym, and again, when he was there, placed a letter I needed for work on my desk. I wasn't surprised at all when it was gone a few hours later and reappeared the next day. When I finally was alone at home again and could check out the nanny cam evidence, I only saw what I already knew. He took the letter while passing the desk, put it in his gym bag, and put it back a few hours later. However, as soon as I saw the evidence, I decided against confronting him. To be honest, I was scared of his reaction and had already decided to break it off as soon as possible. Also, the camera didn't show me his motive, and I figured he probably wouldn't tell me anyways. However, it frustrated me very much that I would probably never know why he did it, and on the last evening before he moved back to his newly renovated apartment, I told him I wanted to watch an old movie called Gaslight. Thanks for the tip, everybody. It really is a great movie. He sat with me through the whole movie, but was quieter than usual while I talked the whole time about how unrealistic the movie was and that he was obviously insane. I actually expected some kind of reaction from him, but he just sat there looking nervous. On Sunday, he took all his stuff back to his apartment. My brother had organized someone to come and change the locks, and as soon as he was gone, I wrote my boyfriend a text telling him that it was over. I had no interest in being contacted again, that our breakup was final, and I thought it was very sad that he had to hide my things to keep the relationship interesting. Since then, he called me more or less nonstop, but I haven't picked up and I won't.
Oh, wow.
I know this isn't the heroic or exciting ending. I could have confronted him with the video evidence, but instead I cowardly broke up with a text message. However, I really didn't want to confront him and have a dramatic fight.
That's not cowardly.
I just wanted it to be over as soon and as smoothly as possible. If there's anything I've learned from this, it's to not rush into a relationship. For the past 7 years, I've jumped from one long-term relationship to the next, and I think it's time to stay single for a while and concentrate on my college classes. For now, I'm going to stay at my brother's for 2 or 3 weeks, and I should probably change my phone number. I'm sorry that I can't give you any insight on why he did it. It might have been a kleptomania, a prank, or messing with my stuff because something about me frustrated him. I will probably never know. In all the texts he's sent me, it only says he doesn't know what I'm talking about, and he never took my things.
Yeah, right. Okay. Wow. Yes, she great moves, genius moves all
Amazing.
through.
Absolutely amazing.
I love that we had a follow-up on this one. It's so
Needed.
satisfying.
So needed.
I feel like it's some measure of control and manipulation because it relates directly with the fact that he's uncomfortable with her doing anything or studying abroad or seeing her friends and has an issue with jealousy until they live together and he could do it directly every single day and have more control. He's excited that she can move in because he can regain his control again. It's just like, I think it's taking that jealousy to a whole new level. It's going to this is what leads to kind of like the credit card lady. This is what leads to not being able to have friends, not being able to go anywhere, not being able to do anything. I see what you're saying. Just wow. But
yes, this would have turned into an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's just scary. And the thing that's sad about it too is you are now then in fear. And then you break up and you're in fear because I mean, fuck, I wouldn't want to be in that same, I would want to move.
Yeah.
And like, especially as a female, it's just scary. Like, then you change your number and then it just sucks because it feels like you're always like, where's it going to pop up or something because these people are nuts.
Yeah. And like, so smart to not confront him because the way this was headed.
That was not cowardly.
No, not cowardly at all. The way this was headed, you don't know the state of his psyche. Like, he could have, this could have been an I kill you situation. You don't know with someone this unhinged. He's still not admitting, even though Like at this point, he knows, she knows. Like he's still not admitting it.
God, I would just love for him to see the video and
I
say,
know. Oh, like you almost just want to text it to him and just like after he still is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
but you also don't, because like, yes, sure, you'd get the final word, but you don't know what kind of reaction that's gonna ensue, and
he can still find her.
and it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And it's like, what is that gonna get you?
Right.
Nothing.
It's satisfying in the moment, but
it's
just you don't know what you're gonna create.
no, it's gonna potentially put you more at risk.
Ugh.
Wild fucking ride for this one. I think like I picked this one too, especially with this theme, like couples therapy or not. Like this seemed like a really small issue
Well, it was just like,
based on the initial post.
it was like, what are you accomplishing? And then you start to connect the dots.
And so I think like trust your gut, like look out for those common red flags. Love bombing, gaslighting, breadcrumbing is another one that we like I really want to talk about more, but look out for those things. But like trust your gut. Like she knew immediately that it was him. She knew she wasn't going crazy, but she was just like, what the fuck? And if someone is doing that shit to you, no amount of therapy is going to save your relationship.
Yeah.
Cut your losses, call it quits, and run. Like it is only going to go downhill if someone is fucking with you in this regard or in any similar regard. Like they're fucking with you and your mental health and your psyche and your like instincts on purpose. It was him fucking with everything.
Well, yeah, and I like the point that was made that it was connected with anything that was exterior.
Mm-hmm.
It was outside friendships, relationships, family that was trying to be manipulated and taken away or controlled in some aspect.
It was totally about control.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Scary.
It is really scary. I'm really, really happy for OP. Like I'm glad Reddit like did not fail on this one. This is like one of the best Reddit
Yep.
like influences, like people's responses on the original post and all of that. And people really were just so supportive in the comments, which I love to see. This is like a Reddit success story.
And I'm happy that she has gotten to a place too where she wants to just be single, take some time, don't just keep jumping right in. Like that's a great thing. That's a great thing for her.
It is. And there's a lot. OP was really responsive. So again, like all of these stories will be posted in the links. But I think this is one that is like kind of important to highlight. And so the original post kind of flew under the radar. Like I think the best of Reddit updates post did a lot better. But this original post only had 334 comments. So like thank you for the people that saw it and like did fucking God's work. So someone goes, I hope this doesn't get buried, but OP, I've read what you wrote in your response to questions, and I'm a little bit concerned with the following. Things appear to go missing and directly linked with you leaving the house. It's almost like he's trying to subtly stop you from leaving.
Yeah.
He is jealous of you going out with your single friends. Him being angry that you think it's too soon to introduce him to family. He seems to be pushing the relationship to be serious quickly by using guilt. This can be the warning signs of a potentially abusive relationship. These behaviors start small and insidious and escalate. I had a friend who started a relationship and her boyfriend hated the fact that she hung out with me as I was single and participated in what he called slutty activities. They go on to like give more examples. But basically being like, she exited that relationship 2 years later and admitted to all of us that he was physically and emotionally abusive. I'm not saying everyone who is jealous is an abuser, but combined with other red flags, you should be cautious.
Yeah.
Don't let him dictate who you can and cannot hang out with. Don't let him guilt you into doing things you're uncomfortable with. I will PM you an information sheet about abusive relationships. Please be wary and look at the situation with this newfound information. Because this is on the original post. And so OP goes, thank you very much for this comment. This really makes a lot of sense. I know someone who was in an abusive relationship, and I was always sure it couldn't happen to me because I wouldn't let any guy treat me like this. But if this is how it starts, I can understand a little better. And to be honest, I'm getting very concerned.
Yeah.
This, like...
That was real, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like, that's, too, when you get stuck in that cycle, it's like, you know, why would you stay, like, in an abusive relationship like that? And it's like, why does anyone stay in a relationship
You slowly get trapped.
that's less than, what they deserve? Like you get trapped. You believe that this is what you deserve. This is normal. Like this is just how it is.
Right, because yeah, you think about it. Like if you're gonna be physically abused right off the bat in a serious way,
Yeah.
yes, then it's like you're not invested in any way.
Exactly. And it's easy. Like if someone like hits you right away after a month of dating, that's a clear red flag. That's like,
Yeah,
wow, I need to get the fuck
the
out.
biggest red flag.
Yeah. But if it's something like this where it's so small and like just jealousy, like I think jealousy is a
It's
real
like,
red flag.
yeah,
I don't think like,
it's
I think,
creepy.
yeah. And I think like jealousy is something that you can address in couples therapy. But I think when it's like as debilitating as this, it's time to call it.
Well, I think jealousy is natural, and I think to some degree, jealousy is healthy because it means that you have this deep care and this deep love for someone. I don't think jealousy is the right word, though. I think there's a deep love for someone to where you don't want to lose them and whatever. But if your love is real and you share it mutually, then there's no need for jealousy. I
I think
I take back what I say, though.
No, because I think jealousy, like we're human. Jealousy is normal. You are going to be a little jealous, like from time to time. But if you let your jealousy then
Yes.
cause you to control your partner or cause you to hide your partner's shit and then gaslight them to make them feel crazy so that you have an easier time manipulating them in the future, then
Yeah.
there's levels to it. Like a little bit of jealousy, yeah, that's normal. We're human. But like if it's this bad, you
No,
guys
this is
get out.
this is real bad.